I'm Jack Dunn, the Associate Vice President of University Communications here at Boston College. And on behalf of Father Leahy, we'd like to welcome you to this virtual press conference to introduce the new William B. Campbell Director of Athletics at Boston College, Pat Kraft. The format is simple. I'll introduce Father Leahy, who will say a few words. He will introduce Pat Kraft, who will say a few words. And then Jason Baum, our AD, Senior Associate Director of Athletics, will lead us in a question and answer session from the media. So to begin, it's a pleasure for me to introduce to you Father William P. Leahy of the Society of Jesus.
Thank you, Jack. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you for participating in this press conference, different format, but nevertheless still effective. And as we proceed today, I also want to express my appreciation to Dave Traynor, the VP for Human Resources, who chaired the search process, resulting in the hiring of our new AD, and also those faculty, administrators, and trustees who contributed to the search effort. And as we entered into this process, we had certain goals and priorities in mind for the candidates that we intended to identify and begin interviewing. First, we wanted people who were known for personal integrity and for following the NCAA regulations, and who also would adhere to what Boston College expects of its employees, especially those involved in intercollegiate athletics. Then we also wanted to make sure that the individual could contribute to the distinctive mission of Boston College, a mission that involves linking together academics, athletics, community service, providing example to everyone involved in this institution. We prize very much the Jesuit Catholic heritage of Boston College, and we wanted to make sure that anyone who was selected to be AD could also contribute to that overall atmosphere and culture. Then we know athletics today is increasingly complicated, so we said we had to have someone who was a proven leader and administrator in the world of intercollegiate athletics. As we know, there are many challenging issues facing athletics, so that the person we brought in, we wanted to know had a record of proven success. And then we were very much interested in someone who could inspire and motivate our student athletes, fans, donors, all the friends of Boston College and its athletics program. So as we went through that process, we clearly had a strong pool of candidates, and the person you're about to meet is the one we selected. We wanted an individual who understood who we were, and Pat Kraft certainly values expressions of academic excellence, believes in religious commitment, and also says that athletics is important to the life of a university. He's an individual who's had success as a player at Indiana, stayed there and earned 3 degrees, most notably a PhD in sport management, worked at other universities before coming to Temple in 2013 as deputy AD, and for the last 5 years, he's been the athletics director. So I have the delight of introducing you to Pat Kraft, and I say welcome, Pat, along with your wife, Betsy, and your 2 young children. It's wonderful having you coming to the Heights. Please, we'll give you a round of applause. How's that?
Oh, thank you. I can hear it. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you for welcoming my family. Thank you for the kind words. You've entrusted me with stewardship of one of the nation's elite intercollegiate athletic departments. I'm honored, I'm humbled, I'm excited to join the Boston College family and the Boston College community. I want to thank you and the Board of Trustees for this incredible opportunity. I want to also thank the search committee. They have been wonderful. It has been great to get to know them through this process. As I get started here, I want to thank most important people in my life, my wife, Betsy, my son and daughter, Annabelle and Joseph. They are my foundation. They are my rock. They are everything to me. My family and my faith are what inspires me, drives me, motivates me every single day. I love you, Annie and Joseph, with all my heart. And I want everyone to understand they are already ready for the fall. They have their gear picked out. They are more excited to meet Baldwin than anybody else on campus. So they're very fired up about that. So that's good. My wife, Betsy, is an incredibly strong human being. She's not only my wife, but my best friend. And I just want to let her know how much I love her. She is the rock in our family. I want to acknowledge my mom and dad and my family. I'm very close to my family. You will hear me talk about family a lot over the years. My family is all in on BC right now. They cannot wait. They show me nothing but love and support through my professional journey. I can tell you right now, my father's in heaven looking down with a very, very big smile on his face. I know he's excited and I know he's watching down on us. Before I turn to the future at the Heights, I do want to thank those incredible people here at Temple University, especially President Engler, Bill Mills, Drew Katz, Phil Richards. They shared in our vision for what Temple Athletics could become. We will always have a place of peace. Philadelphia will always be a piece of our heart. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Dr. Theobald and Kevin Clark for giving me an opportunity to run the athletic department here at Temple, and what a great opportunity it was. But most importantly, I want to thank student athletes here at Temple University, both past and present. And all I can simply say is, I'm so proud of you, and I love each and every one of you. And my staff, you're amazing. You will always be family to Betsy, myself, and the kids. To me, Boston College is the paradigm for college athletics. Tremendously smart and dedicated student athletes, a group of coaches with incredible dedication and passion for their student athletes, a commitment to excellence and championships with an incredible history, and perhaps most importantly, the department stands on a bedrock of principles and Jesuit values. These Jesuit values have guided my own transformation into a better son, better brother, better husband, better father, and a better leader. For those of you who don't know me, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. I'm a Chicago kid who grew up in a Catholic family. I'm full of passion and enthusiasm for school and sports. My path took me to Indiana University, as Father said, where I played football for the Hoosiers and earned several degrees. I knew as an undergraduate that I wanted to work in college athletics. I saw the greater impact outside of wins and losses that staff, coaches, fans, alumni, and everybody has on myself and my teammates. I moved up the professional ladder to Indiana, Loyola University, Chicago, and on to Temple. I never forget, never, why I do what I do. Simply put, the student athletes, period. They are at the center of every single decision I make. I always will ask, will this benefit the student athlete? Will this give them a better experience? Will this help them in life and everything that comes their way? I'm admittedly passionate about my job. I'm passionate about Boston College. I'm passionate about the job that I have to teach and educate our student athletes. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to go watch our student athletes succeed on the field and in the classroom and in the community. I believe that Boston College is well positioned to excel in the future. We have incredible students, coaches. We have incredible staff and campus leaders, alumni, donors, and fans who love the Eagles. I've felt it already. We compete in the premier athletic conference, the ACC. We're guided by a core set of values based in faith, which will keep us steady through the challenges that are upon us and coming to us. As I said in the news release that accompanied the announcement, the values of Boston College are in alignment with how I live my life and how I approach my job. So, BC Nation, I promise you this. We will continue to graduate young men and women who will go on to change the world. We will maintain our success in the classroom. We will give back to the greater Boston community. We will outwork every program in the country, and it will start with me. And it will go all the way down to the interns and the student athletes and the GAs and everybody in this department. We will be champions, and we will not allow excuses to get in our way. We will represent BC with pride. We will compete in everything we do. We will strive for excellence at all time. It is our time, Boston College. We are BC. Go Eagles, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for already welcoming us. I can't wait to meet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Now Jason Baum will lead us through the question and answer session with media.
Media members, just a reminder to ask a question, click on the participants tab at the bottom center of your PC or Mac screen. Click on the button to raise your digital hand. We will call you as your digital hand is raised. We will start things off with Mike Traglia.
Thanks a lot, Jason and Pat. I assume it's good to call you Pat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Welcome to Boston. These are obviously unbelievably challenging and different times for not only you, but anyone like yourself in college athletics and trying to run a program like this. Given your lofty goals, which you've just stated, how are you going to work around the COVID challenges, at least to start this fall, and specifically college football as a base point, and work from there? How do you manage or plan on going about that? Well,
no, it's a great question. Obviously, we've all been dealing with it, right? And so we've had our plan here at Temple, and what I'm anxious to get with Father and the medical staff there. I think first and foremost, you have to make the call based on the facts and let the medical side of things, medical folks, help you decide what that decision is. As to Boston College's plan, I don't know that yet. Like I said, hopefully this week I'll have it. But look, I think that the first and foremost, I think we have to get here. We have to be safe and get our athletes on campus in the right way. You'll see a lot already. People athletes have started to return. You're seeing a lot of positive tests. We've dealt with positive tests at Temple and have been able to do what was right to protect our athletes in that regard. So I think there's a lot of challenges with that too. What will the stadium look like? I can tell you this, I'm very confident about football in the fall. I'm on the football oversight committee. And if you were to ask me that question 12 or 15 weeks ago, I would have been a little less confident. But I think the way things are moving, and this is very nimble, things change every single day, as you all know. But I'm very confident with the right rollout and protection that's in place. And I know the ACC has had many calls, and I think we're going to be in good shape. Will there be fans in the stands and all that? Still left up to, I don't know. But I do feel comfortable that I feel really good about there being football and activity and sports in the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Rich Thompson with the Boston Herald.
Hi, you all set?
Yep.
Oh, hi, Patrick. Welcome to Boston.
Thank you.
My question is more college sports than BC specific, but over the past 5 weeks, college Division I programs have been hemorrhaging non-revenue sports. I'm aware of this trend, and just recently Furman and Bowling Green cut baseball. I just wonder, what is your commitment to non-revenue sports? Is there still a place in the NCAA for these sports?
And yeah, 100%. I mean, I look at it, it's not non-revenue revenue. We're all in this together. I'm just as proud of our championships we won in gymnastics here and our non-revenue sports as I am for the success in football. I mean, you look at the sailing program here at BC. I mean, I look at it as we're going to provide as much resources and I want to succeed in everything. So those that have to make those decisions, I can't speak to it. I don't know why they did it. I can't say good, bad, or indifferent. But I understand why certain people make decisions. And a lot of these decisions, by the way, were thought about at a lot of institutions long before this hit. And so I do think there will be a lot. I think the finances of college sports is going to, everybody's looking at it, right? You have to sharpen your pencil. You've got to be smart. I feel really good about where we are, just looking at things at the 50,000-foot perspective. But I am committed fully to all 31 sports. We are committed to winning no matter what, no matter where, no matter who's out on the field.
We'll go next to Julian Benbow with Boston Globe.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Welcome. Can't complain. Another day, another Monday.
Hey, man.
Just here's a simple one, man. Just if you can walk me through kind of how it all developed, when BC got on your radar, what made the opportunity attractive for you, and especially like you just went over the challenging times, uncertain times. You don't know whether you had a lot of success at Temple, and a lot of decisions to weigh at the same time. Sort of what made this the right sort of series of events.
Yeah, transition is always hard, and then makes you throw this on everything COVID, and we were quarantined for 15 weeks. Boston College has been the job for me. I look at it, it's so rare when you have your personal, as I said, your personal beliefs and your personal system and faith and family and all that, when it coincides with your professional life. And what my wife, Betsy, and I were looking for, we're happy at Temple. I mean, we've built it to a place that was wonderful, and the people are incredible. So our next move would have to be something really special. And this checked every box for us. I've always had, since my time at Loyola University of Chicago, this one was always the important one for me. Jesuit foundation, big time college football in the ACC. So that really mirrored. And so as things started to unravel, and I won't talk towards or about the process, but this was really a dream job for me. And we want to be part of a community. I want to put my youngest daughters my oldest daughters get involved in first grade. And so we want to be part of a community that we could be there for a long term and really be part of something special. And so that's why Boston College, I couldn't be happier. And as you went through the process, it reaffirmed everything you thought. People were incredible. The opportunity is amazing. Momentum's moving in the right direction. So I hope I answered your question, but that was really why Boston College.
If I could have a follow-up, I'm just curious now, how unique was it just going through, I'm assuming, a virtual
well, look at this, right? Like, this is interesting. I'd much rather be able to connect with you all one-on-one and sit at be at a podium. It was different because it's hard to connect with individuals. I'm a get up out of the office, walk around, talk, engage, that personal connection style. And so this is challenging. This has been hard for me to work for 15 days of just communicating. So yeah, the process itself was a little different. I'm glad it worked out. But it was difficult. I'll tell you this, we drove up this past weekend, and, just doing that and walking around and looking at homes, and you got to put the mask, it's a different time. It is, but you know what? It is what it is. And I like I said, I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm excited. We're really excited. You just do it, right? You roll up your sleeves and you just get after it. So that's kind of my family's mindset, and we're excited. Thank you.
We'll go next to Emma Healy with the Heights.
Hi, Pat. Welcome to Boston.
Hi.
My name's Emma. I'm the head sports editor for the BC's on-campus newspaper, The Heights.
Yep.
So obviously you talked a lot about family and the importance of your family to you. What's your sort of game plan for building on and expanding the BC family and making it a stronger connection, whether it's just in athletics or with fans and the broader community?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting because how we come back, right? How will we be able to come back? And I think it's constant engagement. We have to communicate. And that's from, I saw, Jeff's on the call. It comes from coaches to all staff members. We have to engage. This is a very passionate alumni base. The students are you all are very passionate. And so, the way I go about it is engaging you, hearing, like, okay, tell me what you think. What do we need to do? How do we make this experience not only great for my student athletes, but for you? These are really incredible times your college years are the best. But I think, and I would tell you this, the students are going to drive the energy and the excitement. The students are so critical to that. They're such a critical piece of the whole operation. So I guess what I would say is get out, we're in a COVID world, but eventually getting out and engaging and talking and listening and really being able to connect with everybody.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Dan Rubin with BCEagles.com.
I've had welcome to Boston. I know I echo everyone else there. BC has always occupied kind of a unique spot in the ACC and even in the state of Massachusetts. Just what's your perception of it from maybe a different viewpoint coming in from Philadelphia and Temple, and where do you see it going from there?
It's funny you say that. I get that question a lot, and just about where do we're in a sports town. Well, I'm coming from Philadelphia. And I will tell you this, I could not be more excited. I think the opportunity, now remember, you all know this, there's an incredible history here. And, I think that's what excites me. The infrastructure, the momentum's there, walking around and looking at facilities and meeting the people, all the infrastructure foundation is there. That's the hardest part to get going. Now it's what can we do to elevate it. I think we could compete in the ACC? There's no doubt. We've got to roll our sleeves up. We've got to grind. We got to go compete. So I look at this. I mean, I wouldn't be here with you if I didn't think there was an incredible opportunity, an incredible chance to go and win championships and compete at the highest level. That's just how I'm wired. And these were same conversations I had when I came to Temple. And, we talk about it's going to take everybody. When I say everybody, I mean the student body, the alumni, the donors. Everybody's going to have to help to get us to where I really, truly believe we can be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Trevor House with Boston.com.
Hey, Pat, welcome.
Thank you.
Obviously, you're a football guy. I mean, you're invested in all these sports and you're trying to make everything work at the same time, a lot of moving parts. But how important was football in your decision, just with Jeff coming in, everything starting fresh right now? And just how excited are you to kind of tackle that together with him?
Well, I know he's probably on the call. That was a great hire. Let me just say that. I've had to make my share of hires in football. I am really excited to get together with Jeff and his staff. He's done an incredible job already. And I will say this, and I told him this, these first years are very tough. These transition years are difficult without COVID. So, you have 5 spring practices and you've got to get up and get going, and you're competing against the best. What I will tell you is I believe in where Jeff's mind is, where he's going, what he wants to do, how hard he's going to work. I can't be more excited. He reminds me a lot of a coach that I came in here with, who's the head coach at the Carolina Panthers, who a dear friend of mine, and Matt Rule. They're wired the same way. And I think, I couldn't be more excited. But I know I played football, and a lot of people say I'm a football guy, and I can't wait to get to work with Coach York. And I told him he and I are going to go win a national championship together. I want to go to the Frozen Four. So there's a lot, here. Joanna's done an amazing job. So Jeff's going to be, now that's a build. Now we have to keep going. And I think the best thing we can do is continue to support Jeff.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Courtney Cox with Nesson.
Hi, Pat. Welcome to the Heights.
Thank you.
So COVID aside, obviously it's an important time in the world right now. You brought up the student athletes being the center of everything, and we've seen a lot of them partaking in protests, having their voices heard, and they're having important conversations. I'm wondering if you have a plan in place to make sure that those conversations continue once they're back on campus.
Well, it has to. It can't be, look, we're educators, and that is who we are. In athletics, we are educators. Our coaches are teachers. And at its core, that's what we have to do. We have to go out and provide every resource to allow our athletes to be the best people they can be. And we talk about men and women for others. That's what our goal is. And what I could say is, and I don't know what the programs are in place right now, but it will be something that we talk about for every single day moving forward. We have to. It's a challenging time. I also believe there's no better place to deal with these types of conversations than an institution that values social justice and is at the core of the Jesuit beliefs and values. And so, what I have told my athletes and continue to talk to them is empowering them, listening to them, helping them have the tools in their toolbox to be successful and to go about it the right way and be able to explain their feelings. They're difficult conversations to have, but they're conversations we all, and by the way, not just student athletes, coaches, administrators, everybody has to be on the same page. This is an important time for us. This is an important time in our country and in this world. And I think I believe we have to continue to talk about this and make it a part of everything we do every single day, no matter how long it takes to support the young men and women.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Steve Buckley with The Athletic.
You hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
First off, welcome to Boston. I want to expand on a question that Emma Healy posed a few minutes ago. She spoke of the Boston College family. I want to extend that to the Boston family. And as somebody who's covered sports for a long time in Boston, and this is a broken record, but interest in BC sports is at an all-time low from where I sit. Others may disagree. So I'd like to ask you a two-part question. Number one, what can you do to change that? And the answer cannot be just we have to win, because that's what everybody says. Is there a missing ingredient that you as a newly minted AD at Boston College can share with us to bridge that gap between the pro sports and the collegiate sports in Boston? We all know it's a pro sports town, right, but we've also seen BC be at the very height in years past. What can we do? And I have a follow-up, but what can we do? What can you do to bridge that gap?
Well, I think you're right. Look, I'm in Philadelphia, and it's very similar. It's Eagles all the time. It's what we did was like I said, you have to find ways to engage. You have to get your message out. You have to tell your own story. You have to communicate. This is everybody. The coaches are critical to this. Now, there is no magic bullet. They're just not like all of a sudden you're going to flip the switch. But what you do is you engage your alumni first. The alumni we've got to get the younger fans in Boston to understand what Boston College is. Engage them at a younger age. Let them be part of the process so they grow up wanting to go to BC, wanting to be a part of the BC a family culture, going to games. Now, it's title town, and I also look at it as a real positive. You all know sports. You appreciate sports. And so winning doesn't cure all, but winning does help. So we have to also look in the mirror and see what have we done to help and to engage our people. Because, look at Temple football was a blip on the radar. It was nothing. Then all of a sudden you start and you beat Penn State and you get College game day and all of a sudden people's attention rise. It's not easy. It's going to be a process, but I actually think there's advantages to it because people understand the world of sports. And this is big time college athletics now. It's the ACC.
Okay, and if a follow-up, please?
Yeah, sure.
So, I don't know, I've written 3, 4, 5 stories on BC over the last 6 or 7 months, and I always get these emails and the comments at the end. There are a lot of people that say, and I quote, BC, get out of the ACC. BC can't win in the ACC. You just said a few minutes ago that, yes, you can win in the ACC. So, so through me, tell these people why they're wrong.
We're going to win. Look, you got to recruit. You got to play to your assets. What do you have? You cannot let money get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. You have to outwork people. You have to go and have a vision and a plan to succeed. You've got to go and compete. I think BC has been successful.
Assets.
What's that?
What are those assets?
Incredible city in Boston. A lot of students want to come to the big cities now. You have the Jesuit and the belief system and what the core, what Boston College is as an institution. You've got to go out and recruit national. You got to go back and look at when Boston, you got to go and get the young men and women nationally. It's a national brand. You've got to tap into the alumni and excite the alumni. All the things we're talking about are part of that process. And so I don't believe, now I have a chip on my shoulder, and I get people will say that until we prove it, but everything has to work. Everything has to go together. And that's why I say the students, the alumni, the coaches, myself, everybody has to work together to achieve that. And so there is no barrier for us. I don't allow excuses and money and finances. That's not it. I get there's other budgets, but there were other budgets where I've been. I've never been in a place where we open up the gates and there's a ton of money. It's about using creativity and resources. But look, the assets are there. We have the foundation. It's now how do we use it? And that's where you have to look at it. That's what we have to figure out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have time for a few more questions. We'll go next to Howard Herman with Berkshire Eagle.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Terrific. You come out of a place where the Big Five is really important for basketball. How important is it for you to lead your teams to play other schools in the Commonwealth on a regular basis in basketball and in other sports?
Well, I think it's really important, and obviously, right now you're seeing more of a regional scheduling with everything that's going on. So I think that conversation actually is going to start to pick up. But I think anytime, you're right. We have the Big Five here. They are as big games in the Philadelphia area as you could find. Even my time at Loyola, we wanted to play DePaul in UIC, and we wanted to schedule Northwestern. I think it's important. I think we have to, and we have to look at scheduling games that can engage the Boston community and really show, within the Commonwealth what we're about. And this is a key piece to it. Right. And so, yeah, I'm absolutely in it. I haven't looked at scheduling. I don't know where the schedules lie, but scheduling is obviously a really important piece to all of this.
We'll go next to Julian Benbow with the Globe.
Hi again.
Okay. Yeah.
I just had a quick one. It was just having read a little bit about the way you described your experience at Temple and sort of the challenges, the excitement, the things you learned, whether it's from the fundraising or hiring coaches or elevating a university's brand. Can you kind of dive into what you did take away from that experience that can benefit you here, and some of the similarities, some of the tools you might be able to bring?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think everything is relationships, whether it's raising money, how you treat people the right way. I've really learned how you work. Can you outwork people? Can you have, you have to have synergy from president, AD to department, which is what really excites me about Boston College, and we had that here. Those are the really important things. I don't like to say, well, we've tried that and it doesn't work. No, let's try it again. Let's tweak it a little bit. The creativity and using modern day technology to get your brand and your story out. Recruiting really, really good kids that understand, that want to run through a wall. Having a culture that believes that it doesn't matter what anyone says. We're going to go all in together as a family. I mean, I'm a big believer in culture and getting, everybody here, no matter what everyone said, at the lows of the lows to the highest of the highs, we stayed focused on the one thing, and that was being great. And that was everybody in the organization. When one team won, everybody won. Those are the types of things. And over the time, you learn to what really worry about and what not. Like, okay, and settle everybody down. Just be calm and stay to the plan, right? Keep the strategy. And then if you need to be nimble at times, that's okay. But really the culture and the family and focusing on being great in everything you do in the organization, I really believe that's what I will take away. Like I said, there's no magic bullet, right? You just can't flip a switch and everything's great. But if you bring people together who are going to work hard for a common goal, common purpose, it's amazing what happens. And it's amazing when you focus on that part of it and the success you will have.
And just to follow up, the fundraising was a huge part of what Martin did over his 3 years here. And it was a big part of what you've done at Temple. And I was wondering how, in your mind, you can see those things sort of carrying on. I mean, obviously you had the Greater Heights campaign, but how do you kind of keep that momentum going?
Yeah, no, I spoke to Martin a couple of days ago. I think, Martin did a great job, and it's keeping that momentum going. And really the way, to be very honest, like the way I fundraise is just treat people right, be transparent, and communicate with them. Here's what we need. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we have to go and compete against, all these schools in the country. If we want to get there, I need your help to do this. And if they understand and appreciate that, they get it. I mean, through the COVID, we're going to break records in fundraising because people really understand the need for us right now. And so that's really at the core. It's relationships and communicating and being very transparent.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we'll wrap things up with Mike Petraglia.
All right, Jason, thanks. Pat, I'm curious, you did a lot of work for mental health with student athletes in at Temple. And given the extraordinary challenges of what's going on now, how do you think that experience is going to help everyone as they try to get back to, I hate the expression, but the new normal?
Yeah, I will tell you this, the mental health piece is the biggest and most important thing we all in academia and really everywhere have to deal with. I was shocked when I started to when we first got here, how critical this need was. I will tell you that will be one of the very first things I dive into, probably, before July 1. Where are we? What support system do we have? How can we work with the university to help? You're right. These are trying, I mean, we're all feeling it. It's a different time. So that is paramount to the success we have to have. I am a firm believer, and it goes back to care personalis, understanding and being the best person, not the whole person. If our athletes are good at mind, body, and spirit, they will succeed. And so I can't tell you how important the mental health aspect. And I'll be honest, it's not about like, oh, I got to hit that putt, or I've got to go and make that, strike three. It's not about the performance side. It's about living every single day. How do I deal with the stresses and the anxieties? Because what the athletes go through now than what I had 20-some years ago, I mean, my world was easy. I mean, we didn't have cell phones, the social media, everything. And so it is the number one thing we have to focus on and make sure that we are there for them when they stumble, when they're concerned. But it is, I thank you for asking that. It is so important, not only on athletics, but on college campuses everywhere.
Thank you.
And with that'll wrap up today's call with Pat. We appreciate everyone joining virtually, and we look forward to seeing everyone soon.
Thank you, everybody. I look forward to connecting with you all soon, hopefully soon.
Thank you.